Hi, I'm Dallas Dickinson, Senior Content Producer for Star Wars The Old Republic, a new, massively multiplayer, story-driven game being developed by BioWare and LucasArts. Now, we've been talking a lot lately about the fact that this is the first ever fully voiced MMO, but we wanted to show that to you in action. So, we're going to give you a quick preview of Star Wars The Old Republic, the cinematic conversation system, as well as some of the action-packed Star Wars combat that you'll get to experience when you play the game. We're going to show you a few things here, but remember, this is a work in progress. You're going to get to see a couple of character classes, a few of our planets, and then a flashpoint in the game. I hope you enjoy. We're going to start you off here on Hutta with our Bounty Hunter class. It's worth pointing out that this is the first time that Hutta has ever been fully imagined as a planet in the Star Wars universe. As a bounty hunter, you're here to try and win entry into the Great Hunt. It's a contest sponsored by the Mandalorians to find the greatest bounty hunter in the galaxy. In keeping with the iconic bounty hunters from the films, your motivation is personal and it's mercenary. Recently, we announced that this is the first ever fully voiced MMO. What that means is that every player character, both male and female, every NPC, everyone you talk with in the game will have full, high-quality VO. The guy in front of you, Braden, is your mentor. He's the guy who brought you here, and he's going to help you win entry into the Great Hunt. Without further ado, here's your first conversation.
We're almost set up. See if you can't get that security network running, Mako.
Sure thing, Braden. We'll be... hey now.
Indeed. The main attraction has arrived. Team, this is the man we're pinning all our hopes on. Best shot I've ever seen and nerves of steel. He's great hunt material, all right. What do you say, Hunter? Ready to meet your team?
And notice that you're making decisions here in dialogue. Remember, your decisions matter.
What I'm ready to do is make a pile of credits.
A man from your same mold, Jory.
Let's do things official-like. This is Mako, little genius I picked up years ago in Nar Shaddaa. She provides intel and tech.
Hope you're as good as the old man says.
And the big bruiser is Jory. He handles the heavy lifting and provides security for our base of operations.
Achua Benki, Dobra Sawata Hopa, Haba Ota Danaga Wonki Mulira Lapi.
Nice to meet you both. Let's get to work.
All right, enough introductions. Down to business. We're here because the Great Hunt has been called. Little Mako is the most rabid fan of hunter history this side of Geonosis, and even she doesn't know exactly what the Great Hunt entails.
I do know the names of every Great Hunt winner, though. Bloodworthy, the Defenestrator, Jewel and Nightbringer.
Every bounty hunter who's won a Great Hunt went on to massive glory and riches, which is why we're here.
Personally, I'm just here to kill people and cause damage.
There you have it, your first conversation in the Old Republic. All of our conversations are going to be like that one. Great dialogue, compelling choices, and cinematic digital acting. BioWare has been a leader over the years in putting real cinematic acting into our scenes. Now, as we approach the outside of the planet Hutta, first going to wave at somebody. That's what you do in massively multiplayer games. It's a good time to talk about our art style. We've been calling this stylized realism. The idea is to create a world that looks distinctly Star Wars, that in fact looks distinctly Star Wars in the Old Republic era, but is not tied down to photorealism. And I think you're going to see that as we show you the surface of Hutta. Hutta is the home of the Hutts, obviously. Although it wasn't originally their planet, they moved in, they enslaved the existing population, and they turned it into a bit of a toxic waste dump, as you can see with all the gases and noxious fumes in the distance. You can also see the palace of Nemro the Hutt. He is the warlord in charge of this particular section of the planet. Although in charge is a stretch, there's a lot of gangland violence, which we're going to cause. Now, obviously, the bounty hunter is a ranged class. He has a blaster at his side. He also has some rockets. The idea here is to make sure that your combat is as iconic as the story that you're playing through. So you have rockets, you have a blaster, you have some gadgets at your disposal. So you can stun someone with a quick dart there, and then if you get up close, even though you prefer range, you take care of it the way a bounty hunter would, with a really nice flamethrower. Now notice you're taking on multiple enemies at once. We want to make sure that the combat feels heroic from the beginning. You're going to be taking on 2, 3, sometimes 4 enemies at once. Again, you need to feel like a Star Wars hero from the beginning. Let's see if we can take on these last 2 guys here. Open up with a nice stun dart, and take him out with a flamethrower. Well, there you have it, folks. That is the Bounty Hunter class on the planet Hutta.
Hi, my name is Blaine Christine. I'm a producer at BioWare Austin, and now we're going to give you a quick look at the Smuggler. So here we're looking at our Smuggler class. Obviously, the Smuggler represents the Han Solo fantasy in the Star Wars universe, and our Smuggler begins on the world of Ord Mantell. Now, Ord Mantell is a war-torn world in the Star Wars universe, where the Republic is duking it out with some separatists, and your mission as a smuggler is to run guns to the Republic side to help them out, should you choose to accept. Now, in thinking about what we could do with gameplay to make this class unique, we had to think about what Han Solo does in the movies. So what does he typically do? Well, normally he's running down hallways, firing over his shoulder, or perhaps he is shooting around a corner. So here you're looking at our first ever cover mechanic in an MMO. You can see there are some green indicators in the world which tell the player where they can take cover, and you can see that our player character is able to switch between cover points as well as they fire upon the enemy. You may also notice that there's a green indicator above their enemy's head that tells us that we have a defensive bonus against that enemy. As we go into a cover a second time here, you may want to watch the quick slot bar at the bottom of your screen, and you'll notice that we have a different set of abilities whether we are in cover or out of cover. And a nice use of the flashbang grenade.